Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into exactly how to check your driver's license status online in the state of Nebraska. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by DMV processes, well, you are in the exact right place. Have you ever showed up to the DMV, waited in a literal endless line for an hour, only to find out you didn't even need to be there? Or worse, that you were missing one crucial document? Yeah, it's the worst. Keeping your driver's license status updated is absolutely critical to avoid legal trouble, unexpected suspensions, or just getting turned away at the counter. But what if I told you that a super quick online check could save you that entire trip? So, here's our agenda for today. We'll quickly cover why you should check online, run through a step-by-step guide, compare free versus paid options, hit the eligibility rules, take a peek behind the scenes, and wrap up with some FAQs. All right. Section 1. Why check online? It's all about immediate peace of mind. We've all dealt with the old school ways of handling government stuff, right? The phone calls, mailing forms, standing in those physical lines. It is incredibly time-consuming. Well, this digital portal is designed to completely bypass all of that. As the source material perfectly states, this interface doesn't display detailed historical records, but instead provides an immediate, free assessment of active driving status. It doesn't overwhelm you with every single ticket you've ever gotten. Instead, it gives you that instant answer. Say you suspect your license is expiring soon, or you just paid a fine and want to be 100% sure your suspension is lifted. Catching an issue early through this free portal can literally save you from a costly ticket or, having your car impounded. Nobody wants that. Moving right along to Section 2, our step-by-step guide on accessing your records. Now that we know why it's so valuable, let's dive into exactly how to use the system. And right off the bat, there's a really crucial technical requirement here. Before you even pull up the Nebraska DMV website, you have to make sure your browser has JavaScript enabled. If you've got super strict privacy blockers on or disabled your scripting settings, the database query is actually going to crash. You'll be stuck before you even begin. So definitely double check those browser settings first, and then head over to the official Nebraska DMV portal. Okay, so once you're in the portal, it's actually super straightforward. You'll be prompted for exactly 3 pieces of personal information to pull up your driver profile. And the best part? You don't need to create some complex new login for this basic check. You just type in either your Nebraska driver's license number or your social security number, your last name, and your date of birth. This specific combo is required to successfully locate your record, and it does a great job of protecting your privacy from anyone just randomly trying to guess your info. Section 3, free versus paid. We're looking at the basic status check versus a certified record. So you've punched in your information. What exactly do you get back? Well, it really depends on what you need. If you're just sitting there wondering, can I legally drive today? Or is my license suspended? The free online check is perfectly fine. It gives you an immediate assessment of your active status. But let's say you're applying for a job that requires you to drive a company car, or you need to prove your driving history to your insurance provider. For that, you're going to need the certified driving record. Based on the state fee schedules, this one costs $15, requires you to actually set up a Nebraska.gov subscriber account, and gives you your full, detailed, historical driving record. All right, let's shift gears to Section 4, eligibility rules. Basically, when going online just isn't an option. Look, as incredibly convenient as the internet is, it unfortunately can't solve every single DMV problem. The big takeaway here is that if you hit any of the roadblocks on this list, the online system is instantly going to lock you out. First off, if your status is currently suspended or revoked, you can't use the standard online portal. You have to go through the formal reinstatement process. Next, if you have severe vision restrictions, like needing bioptic or telescopic lenses, or if you've been required to submit a new medical or vision report, you've got to apply in person. And finally, if you're trying to change your personal data, like your legal name, gender, height, or eye color, state law requires physical proof of identity, which means a human representative at the DMV has to verify it. Beyond those medical and data changes, there are also some hard limits hard-coded into the system to prevent fraud and, keep the public safe. For example, to renew a driver's license online, your next birthday has to be before your 72nd birthday. Also, to prevent people from abusing the system, you're only allowed a maximum of 2 online replacements within a 5-year window. And for standard Class O or M licenses, you can only renew online a maximum of 2 times in a row before you have to actually show up in person. Now, interestingly enough, if you have a state ID card, which obviously doesn't let you drive, there is absolutely no maximum age limit for online renewals, and you can renew it online up to 3 consecutive times. Next up is Section 5, behind the scenes. We're talking interstate integration and security. Have you ever wondered how on earth the Nebraska DMV knows if you got a ticket in another state? It's kind of fascinating and really shows how modern identity verification works. They use something called the state-to-state, or S2S, verification system. This database checks if you hold active credentials in other states. Basically, it makes sure you aren't holding multiple valid licenses all over the country. The absolute second Nebraska issues you a new document, this database flags any out-of-state IDs you might have and automatically voids them out, transferring your previous driving history directly to your new Nebraska record. Then there's SSOLV, which stands for the Social Security Online Verification System. Every single time you process an application online, this built-in DMV system pings the Federal Social Security Administration directly. If your name or social security number doesn't match up perfectly with their records, boom, your online transaction is immediately denied. It's a massive deterrent for identity theft. Now, for non-citizens residing in Nebraska, the online renewal process hits a pretty crucial bottleneck, and that is the SAVE program. SAVE stands for Systematic Alien Verification for Entitlements, and it's a federal program used to verify legal immigration status. The catch here is that this verification can take up to 20 federal business days to clear. Because of that wait, the DMV strongly urges non-citizens to start their status check and renewal process as early as possible within their 90-day renewal window. Seriously, you do not want your license to accidentally lapse while you're just sitting there waiting for federal approval. And finally, Section 6, FAQs and Disclaimer. Let's go over some quick troubleshooting and final resources. Okay, we have covered a massive amount of ground today, so let's address a super common beginner question. Let's say your online status says you're blocked from using the services, but you know for a fact your driving record is spotless. Well, do you happen to also hold a Nebraska state ID? Because state law strictly prohibits holding both a valid driver's license and a state ID card at the same time. If the database sees that you have both active, it will preemptively block you from using the online services until you surrender one of them. Here is a surprising and honestly highly specific detail that trips up a lot of people: routine system maintenance. If you go to the portal and it's just completely down, check your calendar. The Nebraska DMV takes its online services offline for maintenance from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the first Saturday following the second Wednesday of each month. I know, it's a total mouthful, but if you're trying to check your status on a Saturday morning and getting a weird error, that oddly specific timing is likely exactly why. For further resources, the absolute best place to go is the online portal at dmv.nebraska.gov/services. You can also find a really robust FAQ section on their help index page at dmv.nebraska.gov/help/index. Oh, and one final super important tip here: if you successfully order a document online but it hasn't arrived after 20 business days, do not call your local DMV office. They literally cannot research it for you. Instead, you have to go online and complete the specific online inquiry form to get the status of your delayed document. So, are you ready to take control of your Nebraska driving credentials online today? Keeping your license status in check doesn't have to be this giant headache of endless lines and paperwork. By understanding how the online system works, knowing the difference between the free checks and the paid certified records, and keeping those eligibility rules in mind, you are fully equipped to be proactive. We highly encourage you to log on and check your driver's license status online today. And hey, if you find this walkthrough helpful, please share this explainer with your friends and family so they can save a trip to the DMV too. Finally, we do have a quick disclaimer. While this explainer provides comprehensive and valuable guidance based on the source material, laws and system requirements can and do change. You should always verify your specific details and the most up-to-date information directly with official Nebraska DMV channels at dmv.nebraska.gov. As our lives become increasingly digital, it really makes you wonder how many other critical government records are sitting online right now just waiting for you to take control of them. Thanks so much for learning with us.